Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into some of the most unbelievable coincidences in history. The world around us is full of extraordinary events, moments of chance and happenstance, but some occurrences stretch the very fabric of believability. Are these simply statistical anomalies, or is there something more, something almost mystical at play? Let's find out. Our journey into the heart of the improbable begins with perhaps the most famous example of historical coincidences: the eerie parallels between the assassinations of two American presidents, Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. Both men, giants of their respective times, were struck down by assassins' bullets, their lives cut tragically short at the height of their power. Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth in Ford's Theatre, while Kennedy met his end in a car made by the Ford Motor Company. Both assassins had 3 names with 15 letters each. Both presidents had vice presidents named Johnson who succeeded them. Andrew Johnson after Lincoln and Lyndon B. Johnson after Kennedy. One can't help but wonder, are these mere quirks of fate, or do they hint at an unseen hand guiding the course of history? Our next tale takes us deep into the human experience, to the fascinating phenomenon of twins separated at birth. Take, for instance, the astounding case of the Jim twins. Separated just weeks after birth, Jim Lewis and Jim Springer were reunited at the age of 39, their lives an uncanny reflection of the other. Both had married and divorced women named Linda, only to remarry women named Betty. Both had sons, named James Allan, and pet dogs named Toy. These uncanny parallels extended to their choice of profession, their favorite cigarette brand, even their preferred vacation spot. Is it simply the enduring power of shared genes, or is there a deeper, inexplicable connection that transcends physical separation? Our exploration of the unlikely now takes us to the American West, to the shadow of an engineering marvel, the Hoover Dam. The construction of the Hoover Dam was a monumental undertaking, a dangerous dance with nature that demanded a heavy price. Over the course of its construction, 112 lives were lost, each a tragedy. The first man to lose his life during the dam's construction was a surveyor named George Tierney, who met his end on December 20th, 1922. Years later, the last man to die on the project was none other than George's son, Patrick Tierney, who also fell to his death on December 20th. The odds of a father and son, both working on the same massive project years apart, meeting their end on the same date, seem almost incomprehensible. Was it a cruel twist of fate, a tragic echo across time, or something else entirely? From the depths of human endeavor, we turn our attention to the icy expanse of the North Atlantic, where the legend of the Titanic continues to fascinate and haunt us. This maritime tragedy, the unsinkable ship meeting its doom in the icy grip of the ocean, has spawned countless stories and investigation, but perhaps none are as chilling as the literary premonition found in Morgan Robertson's novel Futility. Published 14 years before the Titanic's ill-fated maiden voyage, Futility tells the tale of the fictional ocean liner Titan, a vessel boasting the latest technology and deemed unsinkable. Eerily mirroring the Titanic's fate, the Titan strikes an iceberg on a calm April night, sending hundreds of passengers and crew to their deaths in the frigid waters. Could this be pure literary prescience, or is it simply a case of life imitating art in the most tragic way possible? Our next story takes us to the battlefields of the American Civil War, where, amidst the chaos and carnage, a tale of delayed destiny unfolded. Henry Ziegland, a Confederate soldier, found himself in a desperate fight for survival. In the heat of battle, he was shot by a Union soldier, the bullet piercing his face and lodging near his spine. Believing the wound to be fatal, the Union soldier left Ziegland for dead, but fate had other plans. Miraculously, Ziegland survived. Years later, still carrying the mark of that fateful day, Ziegland decided to build a house on what he believed to be an empty lot. As he cleared the land, he struck a hard object with his shovel. It was the very bullet that had nearly ended his life years earlier. The force of the impact sent the bullet into Ziegland's head, this time proving fatal. After years of carrying a symbol of war within him, he became a victim of his own past, a chilling reminder that sometimes fate has a long memory. From the battlefields, we travel to the heart of Italy. where a series of uncanny coincidences befell King Umberto I. In 1900, while visiting the coastal town of Monza, the king made a startling discovery. He had stopped at a small, unassuming restaurant for dinner, his presence causing quite a stir amongst the locals. As the king engaged in conversation with the restaurant owner, he was shocked to discover that they shared an uncanny number of similarities. They had been born on the same day, in the same year, in the same town. Both men had married women named Margarita, and even their restaurants, the king learned, bore the same name. The next day, tragedy struck. King Umberto I was assassinated while attending a sporting event. News of the king's assassination sent shockwaves through Italy, but the story took an even stranger turn when the restaurant owner, upon hearing of the king's demise, suffered a fatal heart attack. Our journey through the extraordinary now takes us into the world of film and the curious case of actor Anthony Hopkins. Known for his meticulous preparation for roles, Hopkins found himself in need of a particular book for his role in the 1973 film adaptation of The Girl from Petrovka. The book, a rare first edition, seemed impossible to find. Bookstores were of no help, and even the British Museum had only a single copy, far too valuable to be lent out for a film shoot. Defeated, Hopkins resigned himself to the fact that he would have to make do without the book. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. A few days later, while riding the London Underground, Hopkins stumbled upon an extraordinary sight. Discarded on a bench lay a copy of the very book he so desperately needed, the rare first edition of The Girl from Petrovka. Later, Hopkins discovered an even stranger twist. The book had handwritten notes in the margins penned by none other than the author himself. Years later, when Hopkins met the author, he learned that the author had lent his own annotated copy to a friend who had tragically lost it on the London Underground. From the world of film, we venture into the realm of literature, where the macabre imagination of Edgar Allan Poe takes center stage. In 1838, Poe published The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, a novel recounting a harrowing tale of shipwreck and survival at sea. The novel included an episode where 4 shipwrecked sailors, adrift for weeks, resorted to cannibalism to survive. Chillingly, the name of the cabin boy who drew the short straw and was eaten was Richard Parker. 46 years later, reality seemed to mimic fiction in a most disturbing way. In 1884, the yacht, Mignonette, sank, leaving 4 survivors stranded at sea. And the name of the cabin boy who was sacrificed? Richard Parker. Our exploration of the unexplained now takes a detour into the fast-paced world of Hollywood and the legend of the cursed car. James Dean, a Hollywood icon whose life was tragically cut short at the age of 24, left behind a legacy of smoldering intensity and a fascination with fast cars. His Porsche 550 Spider, nicknamed Little Bastard, became infamous after Dean's fatal crash on September 30th, 1955. Following the accident, the wrecked Porsche was purchased by George Barris, a car customizer who had modified the vehicle for Dean. Strangely, the car seemed to carry with it a curse, a string of misfortune that followed those who dared to possess it. While being transported, the Porsche slipped from its restraints and crushed a mechanic's leg. Later, parts salvaged from the wreckage were involved in other accidents, one fatally injuring a driver who had installed the Porsche's engine in his own car. Our final stop on this journey through the improbable takes us back to the world of literature and the curious case of Mark Twain, the celebrated American author. Twain, known for his wit and sharp observations on life, had a lifelong fascination with astronomy and a peculiar connection to Halley's Comet. He was born in 1835, the same year that Halley's Comet made its appearance in the night sky. In 1909, as Halley's Comet made its return, Twain, in failing health, predicted that he would die when the comet next graced the heavens. True to his word, Twain passed away on April 21, 1910, just one day after the comet reached its closest point to Earth. Was this a self-fulfilling prophecy, a testament to the power of suggestion, or simply a strange coincidence that linked the writer to the cosmos? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more fascinating content. Have you ever experienced a bizarre coincidence? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring the world with open eyes and a sense of wonder.